Hello all you beautiful people and lovers of food. Tonight I'm going to be doing one of my family's favorite meals. It is butter chicken curry. My name is Vivian and I am your Easy Chef. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. Tonight I'm going to be doing one of my family's favorite meals. It's not so traditional, but it's oh so delicious. It is butter chicken curry. Now, I know some people might get upset that I don't stick 100% to the status quo, but I recommend you give it a go because the result is outstanding. How we're going to start is we're going to get a little bit of a garlic naan bread going. It's not as intimidating as you may think it is, and let me get cracking. So what we've done here is we've added 1 cup of warm water, a tablespoon of sugar, and about 2 teaspoons of instant activated yeast. And what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for it to get all bubbly. You leave it for 10 to 15 minutes. While our yeast is busy activating in its little warm water bath, we're going to get our chicken marinated. So what we're going to do is we're going to take about 1.5 cups of just plain yogurt. Yogurt has a lot of good bacteria in it that helps tenderize your meat, which makes your chicken extra soft and extra delicious. And just to add that pop of flavor, we're going to take about 1 tablespoon of our garam masala and stir that into our chicken. And once we have this all stirred in together, we're just going to put it into our fridge. You can do this the night before. It's often recommended to do it the night before, but I didn't. I'm going to do it today, and I think about half an hour is generally sufficient. Now it's all coated. I'm going to just put a little bit of cling wrap over it and put it in the fridge. As you can see, our yeast is looking great. It's got a nice foamy layer on top, which means all of the yeast has been activated and it's ready to make a nice dough. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our flour, garlic, a little bit of warm milk, salt and a bit of baking powder. I'm going to mix it all together, knead it into a nice soft ball, and then put it back in this bowl to prove. So once your dough has come together, you can turn it out onto a floured work surface, and then you can just start kneading your dough. I like to push my dough forward, then fold it in half. Give it a turn, push my dough forward, then fold it in half. Now I've also put garlic in here because I love a good buttery garlic naan. So it won't be perfectly smooth. You'll see a little bit of garlic sticking in and out, and that's fine. You're just going to knead your dough, pushing forward, folding in half, pushing forward, folding in half. Just keep kneading, and then it'll all go away. So our dough has come together beautifully. You can feel it's elastic and pliable, and it almost springs back. And I feel like that's a good sign when you're working with dough because it means the gluten has been activated. What we're going to do now is we're going to just put it in our bowl so it can prove. I'm just going to coat it with a little bit of oil. You don't even need a brush or anything. You can just do this with your hands. And once it's nicely coated so that it can rise quite smoothly, I'm just going to shape it and put it in my bowl. I like to put cling wrap over my bowl, and to speed up the proving process, I like to get another bowl, fill it with just a little bit of hot water. It mustn't touch this bowl. It must just let that steam rise and make a nice warm environment for this dough. It helps it rise faster. You don't need a lot of water, just a little bit. That'll help warm everything up in here. Now put this somewhere warm so it can rise, and we'll get back to it when it's ready. Now that we've got our chicken out of the fridge and we've patiently waited for it to just soak up a little bit of that flavor, we can now start cooking. I'm going to need a bigger pot. Everyone does that, okay? Everyone climbs on their counters. Now that we've got our chicken out of the fridge, we're going to start cooking it. The way we're going to do this is we're going to take a nice big pot. We're going to put some butter in with our onions and our spices, and we're going to let that just cook. What that does is it allows the spices to release their juicy oils. So we've got all our spices in our pot now. You can smell all the oils are starting to really activate, and it makes the most wonderful aromas. And that's how you know you're actually ready to move on to the next step, which is putting in your tomato paste and your chicken. And then we're going to add our tomatoes and our chicken stock. So we're going to let our butter chicken just simmer on a very low heat for about 30 to 45 minutes. We can put the lid on so it doesn't dry out. What we're going to do is we're going to start our butter naans. I've cooked some rice in this pot. I'm just going to put it to the side because it's done cooking. And I'm going to get our cast iron pan on our stove, start getting it warm. First, what we're going to do is make a little bit of garlic butter. I'm just going to take a few cloves of garlic, finely grate it into our butter, and then we're going to get our bread. The dough has risen beautifully. We're going to roll it out into the right shape, put it onto our hot skillet, and while we're cooking it, we're going to just brush it on each side with our garlic butter. While I'm waiting for my pan to heat up, I'd like to thank Westpac Lifestyle for sponsoring this video. They really came to the party and allowed me to cook this amazing feast. Everything I've used in this video is linked in the description below. So if anything you've seen here tickles your fancy, make your way to your nearest Westpac Lifestyle. Thank you! Our dough looks amazing! It's doubled in size, and what we're going to do now is we're going to put a little flour down on our surface. We're going to roll it out, put it in our pan. It should cook in our pan for about 1 to 2 minutes per side. If you give it a little pinch and it bounces back, you know it's ready to come out of the pan. If you give it a pinch and it stays a little bit flat, then you know it needs to stay in the pan longer. When you're rolling out your naan, you want it about 2 millimeters thick. You want it nice and thin because it is going to puff up in the pan. You don't need to put any oil in your pan, you can leave it dry. We're going to add our butter and our garlic when it's on the pan. I like my naan to be a little bit narrow and long, purely because then I put 2 naans in at a time. Yum, 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 yum. I cannot wait to eat this. No curry dish is complete without some sambals. So today I've made a couple of different sambals. I've made a pickled carrot, I've made your traditional onion and tomato, banana and chutney. For the pickled carrot, what I've done is I've just taken a little bit of lemon zest, so the rind of the lemon, and I've boiled it in a bit of water. What this does is it takes some of that bitterness out of the peel. So the water that I've cooked the lemon rind in, I strained off. You can discard that, it's not nice. It's also very yellow. Then what I did is I added fresh water, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of vinegar, some chili flakes, and then I added my peeled carrot. I let that sit in the fridge for about an hour and it's ready to go. I also made a traditional tomato onion sambal, which basically is just some tomatoes, diced onions, and some fresh coriander with some salt and pepper. One of my mom's favorite sambals is sliced banana. So all I do is I take a banana, I peel it, cut it into little slices, and then I add a little bit of lemon juice so it doesn't go brown. I'm also going to add some chutney. Some people think my curries are too hot. When you add some chutney, it really tones it down. I'm so excited because we're finally at the end of our cook, where all we have to do is add the final touches to our curry. To round off my curry, I also add just a little bit of maizena into some cream, and then I put it in my pot, I bring it to the boil. I like to add 1.5 cups of cashew nuts. This is where I go off the book, but I can promise you it really makes the dish next level. So our feast is ready and it looks incredible. It's got so many flavors, so many textures, and I just can't wait to dig in. I don't even know where to start, but I think the best place to start is with the bread. We're going to break off some bread, dip it in our curry, and just let the flavor explosion take place. Oh, it's soft. You can still feel it's got a bit of that chewy texture. I guess I just dig in. A little bit of coriander. That is good. This bread is so soft and still got that nice chewy, cloud-like, buttery, just yes. This is a yes, do it. This is a yes, eat it. Definitely eat it. I need family for this one. This one I need family for. You can't eat this alone. Oh, a little bit of the pickled carrot, a little bit of the chicken. Come, chicken, don't be shy. Oh. So that's a wrap for my butter chicken. I know it's not completely authentic, but it is completely delicious. And I just love how these little bowls make all the food look super authentic. I hope you enjoyed watching. Stay delicious, you beautiful people. Bye. I wasn't supposed to take a bite, but I did.